When you have a lizard or reptile that loves to eat a lot, like this one, costs tend to build up. So, simple solution is to breed your own food. In this video, I will show you simple steps to making your own mealworm farm. The first and most crucial ingredient is a container. This is where we are going to be building our mealworm farm. Next, we are going to need bedding. This is what the mealworms are going to live on. It's what they're going to eat. You can simply get something like mealworm chow, or oats works best. But what I like to use is I love rice. And I think that the mealworms like it too. So I just have a simple thing of rice. I'm using my handy sour cream to get it. We're just gonna put it in like this, and then kind of even it out. Make it nice, and this is like the perfect amount. And rice, the one con is if you keep it way too humid, it can mold. But I live in Arizona, so the humidity is not an issue. So, now we have our bedding set. This next step is optional, but just know that it will increase your mealworm production and the mealworm growth. Is to add another source of food besides the rice. Potatoes work best in this scenario. And the reason why is because they do not mold. They simply dry up. So, adding a simple potato cut in half, just like this, is perfect. You can try to put them into different positions on the thing, but just either down on their side or flat like this, so that the mealworms can get to them. Next, we need a place for the pupas to go. The pupas can be cannibalized by the adults, and we do not want that. So, we're gonna take a simple cup, just put it right over there. And now, the initial farm is done. Now, we need to stock it. Now I just sifted through one of my old mealworm colonies, and I actually just went ahead and put pupas in there, and that's just to show what that cup is for. And I found actually 3 good-looking mealworms that I placed over here, but that's not the point. Here's how you stock it. First, we need our parents. These were the only surviving beetles of my last colony. It was very bad. Real quickly, I would like to clarify that if there's a male and a female mealworm, a colony will thrive forever. But a lot of times, mealworm colonies start being inefficient. How do mealworm colonies start being inefficient? You don't keep up maintenance, which is what we'll talk about in a second. But these are the proud parents of our mealworms, and they will go in and frolic. Let's turn the ones that flipped over. Turn them right side up. And these are going to go around, and they are going to breed. Next, we need to add the actual worms. In this bag is 2 mealworm capsules that I bought from the store. In some reptile stores, this is how you're going to get your mealworms. And mealworms are already excited to be out and about. So what you do is you take a capsule, you pop her open, and a lot of times you aren't going to have beetles just yet, and that's fine. You will eventually. These mealworms grow up into pupae, which turn into beetles. It just takes time. But thankfully, I had an old colony that I am reusing and repurposing. So we just take this and we dump it in. And none of this stuff looks pretty, I know, but it is filled with the future generations of our mealworm colony. So, they are going to go ahead and start frolicking around. I mean, look at these guys. They're all nice and healthy. Then, you just go ahead. You pop open your second capsule. You also dump them in. Oh! And it came with the beetle! Would you look at that? That is really cool. Are there any pupas in here? No? Nope. So, here is everything. Remember when I said that any mealworm colony is going to flourish as long as there's a male and a female? Here is my example. Now this is done, and it's going to be done for you. But mine is not done, because in this container is one of the oldest colonies I have. This was a colony that when I moved, put in a pod, and left in there for like 5 months. And you can see all the beetles sadly passed away. But look, baby mealworms, the next generation of this colony. And these colonies can flourish forever. Here, I'm gonna pick up a baby mealworm just to show you how small these things are. Like, it just slipped through my fingers. Oh, come on, buddy. These things are absolutely tiny. I mean, look at these guys. They're so little. I'm gonna put them on here. This is my finger for comparison. And they grow up into these huge behemoths. Here, let's go. Those two are the same thing. It's crazy. So, I'm going to be taking this colony, this failed but continuing colony, and I'm gonna be dumping them in here too. And as you can see, this is all of their trash and their dead bodies, and that technically will also feed the mealworms. And mealworms will eat anything. They will literally eat styrofoam. It's crazy. So, here we now have a completed mealworm farm. And these guys, it'll take a while, but in a few months, you will never have to buy mealworms ever again with this simple setup. Now let's talk about maintenance. Now maintenance is very easy, and luckily you only have to do it every feeding, and it is the epitome of easy animal. So all you have to do is, if you see is every feeding, you go and you look at your secondary food source. Is it moldy? If so, take it out and replace it. Next, you search around for pupas. Oh, here's some. When you pick them up, you put them in one by one. There's one over here, one here. Next, you'll see, oh wait, look! One of the pupas hatched into a beetle. So, what you do, you take the beetle out. Because the beetle doesn't have any food, it's very hungry, it's been encased without a mouth for days, so it will start to eat your other pupas. You can know when a pupa is about to turn into a beetle when they start to look like this. And you know they're alive when they start to move. So, if you see this, you can just put it in here already just to make your life easier, but it's really just very simple just to leave it in there until you know for sure that it's hatched. So, this is how you will never have to buy mealworms again.